Okay. I do the intro.
Sure.
Count me in.
3.
What? Welcome to Wide Flank. Welcome. Why does it always happen to me?
I don't know.
Literally, as you were counting me in, I was like, I'm gonna nail this one. It's pretty straightforward. Welcome to Mini Club, the Wide Flank show where you get to, we play the games and you tell us what we're gonna play for Game Club. It's Mini Club because we play the games for a short period of time.
Yeah, baby.
30 minutes. I was setting 30 minutes timers this time around. And
I like to set an hour-long timer, but only play 30 minutes. I don't know. It's a little different, but it's basically the same.
I set the 30, and then if at the end of the 30, I'm like, I want to add a few more minutes to this. That's sort of a signal to me. But yeah, hour tops. We got 5 games here, folks.
Yeah, the way this works is Sean picks 2, Alon pick 2, and our Patreon subscribers are always submitting games, and we have a nonstop avalanche of games to choose from. And Sean and I just agree on one for the month's mini club, and then one of these will get voted on. We're thinking about adding a veto feature too, gamifying the mini club.
I forgot that I kind of wanted to talk about this off mic, but now here we are.
But now we're on mic.
We're on mic.
So what I was imagining is we do the normal mini club, which is 10 to 12 minutes on each game. We do our minute-long, whatever presentation.
That's part of the format, too.
Part of the format.
10 minutes tops to talk about a single game, and at the end, and if we don't hit 10 minutes, that's fine, if that's where the nature of the conversation goes. But at the end of that period, we each have a minute to make or break our case.
Yes.
For a game.
And then I think at the end of the episode, we could each get a veto.
And we'll talk that out. And that'll be a conversation unto itself. Because I think I know
to do the rank thing also, right?
Start of the episode, we rank. End of the episode, we veto. There's a whole. So
you're gonna know what I'm gonna want to veto, and I'm gonna know what you're gonna want to veto because
I don't want to veto anything. You started.
It's gonna be the last ranked game.
Apparently, I know what he's gonna veto.
But if you had vetoing power, do you think you would have used it on an older episode? Because I think you would have vetoed Mischief Makers.
You want to hear my well, Mischief Makers is a mess. But you want to hear my actual take? It's not fun podcasting.
All right, fuck it. We're not vetoing.
No. Oh no. That's my take is not fun podcasting.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to hear your take.
My take is vetoing feels against the spirit of the mini club game
it's true.
club
it
structure.
Shouldn't be our power. Yeah. It's you're right.
At the same time, I think we still should reserve time at the end of the episode to discuss it.
Sure.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
No bad ideas, right?
No bad ideas.
But my genuine response is that's the spirit of this.
True. We're breaking the rules.
It's 1. People need rules. 2, I don't know if the shtick of Wide Flank is playing games you kind of don't like and working through them. I don't like that shtick. I want to play games I like and figure it out. But I think more generally, it's just like sometimes you think you don't like something and then you learn, oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? What's that? Sometimes you think you're going to love it, like Eternal Darkness, and it becomes a nightmare.
It breaks your brain.
Your spirit. And anywho, okay. No idea how long we've been talking for, but that's not the point. The point
doesn't matter. So you wanted to do the rank thing still?
Yeah, let's do the rank thing.
So the rank
know what
thing,
your number 5 is gonna be.
Yeah, well, because it's we'll talk about it later.
You're breaking my heart.
So explain the rank thing. We do a 3. 3, 2, 1, and then we say a name of a game simultaneously.
Yeah, dude. It's like kind of a mess, but then some wisdom comes out of it.
Yeah. You love it. All right. Yeah. So, all right. And you like starting with number 5, right?
Starting with number 5
ranked game.
And to be clear, it's each of our number 5, and we're gonna say it at the same time.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna write yours down just so I have like.
Oh, sure. That's good.
Yeah. I got it. Okay, you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
3, 2, 1.
Deltarune. Oh, that's clean.
Yeah,
that's clean.
That's beautiful.
Look.
Is that the one that you knew that I was gonna?
No.
So
this is good podcast.
Fuck off.
So fuck you.
So you don't know me.
Deltarune. Okay, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
So for our number 4, 3,
2, 1.
Tux and
F-Zero.
Fanny. Okay, I thought you were gonna say F-Zero for your veto, and I was gonna flip out. I was gonna fucking lose it. All right. 3, 2, 1. No, stop. Sekiro number 3, 80 days.
Yeah.
Only one of us can do the 3, 2, 1 because trying to coordinate that feels crazy.
Too late.
Okay, so Sekiro is your number 3?
Yeah.
That's jacked up. My number 3 is 80 days.
Okay.
All right.
So
3,
you want to do it?
2, 1. F-Zero
80
GX.
days.
I just wrote down my own. And then 3, through process of elimination, eagle-eared listeners. No, wait. Nobody knows what our games are yet.
Yeah, they don't even know the games.
They might know from the artwork.
The title and the artwork.
3, 2, 1. Sekiro.
Tux and Fanny.
Tux and Fanny is your number 1? That's so nice. All right.
So now the rankings are in. I have Tux and Fanny, 80 Days, Sekiro, F-Zero GX, and Deltarune. Sean has Tux and Fanny, F-Zero GX. Oh. Wait, no.
This show is gonna.
Sean has Sekiro, F-Zero GX, 80 Days, Tux and Fanny, Deltarune.
Yes.
And we're gonna start with 80 days because we always start with the High Council's orders.
And 80 days comes courtesy of former Wide Flank host Teddy P.
Love you, Teddy.
From the realm of spirits.
Yeah.
I'm
setting my clock.
He whispers in our ear, why not take a trip around the world? This is like what my 1 minute thing would be, so I should stop. All right, I've set my clock as well. Ready.
All right, so 80 days. Did you play on your phone?
I played it on my telephone. Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
I have very little experience, and I was psyched to play a game on my phone that's like a real game, not like a little puzzler or Wordle. I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to like play this full game.
Yeah.
That's like good.
Expansive and a lot of choices. And And I was right off the bat, I was like, oh, it's got like opening credits and an overture. Like, that's pretty fancy for a phone game. Like, all right, there's some
like real RPG orchestral music. That comes in and stuff.
Very classy. It's a very classy production, as far as I can tell.
Loved it.
I had
Jules Verne book.
Jules Verne. We're not supposed to research for Mini Club, but I accidentally.
But it said it.
It said Jules Verne, but
based on a Jules Verne book.
But I looked up Jules Verne because I was like, did he also write something else, or I forget what?
Under the Sea, 20,000 Leagues. Yeah.
And it was also because I was already starting to clock as we're playing this game. It's 80 days around the world in 80 days. Is a famous piece of literature about traveling around the world in 80 days.
Yeah, I guess I've never read it. I don't know anything about the book.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And it speaks to like sort of what's interesting about like this game format, because it's like this game is a lot of text. Like it's full reams of text essentially. And like right away I was like, is this literally Jules Verne's writing, or is this an adaptation that's like gussied up, or like?
And since there's a little bit of choice in there, it's sort of a choose your own adventure adaptation is how I'm interpreting it. But it's like, I was really happy that there's not narration and you just get to read it at your own pace and in your own voice.
Yeah.
Because it really felt like reading to me. Like I was like, oh, this is a rare game where I could like play this in bed before I go to sleep because I'm basically reading.
Just reading.
Like the only other shit you're doing is like, do you want to explore? Do you want to stay the night? Or do you want to like, there's a couple of things, but then you just like kind of read.
That's what I found surprising about the game though. Like the reading off the bat was like, oh, okay, this feels like it's going to be a thrust of this, of just like interacting with people and sketching out the story, and like you are a predefined character, but you're also influencing like how the character behaves.
Yeah.
Like right off the bat, I was like, my character's kind of a dork. I don't want to be a dork. No matter what I say, he's kind of a dork. But it's also like, that's what it is, and you can kind of guide him. But I was surprised by like how like mechanics heavy the game started getting like right off the bat.
You just kind of, I don't know, it felt really fun and whimsical and like a board game to me in a good way. Like I was just like, oh, like this item in the shop I can sell for a lot of money in Berlin, so I'll just fucking go to Berlin.
That became the whole driver for me. It was like a lost Rembrandt, and it was like, this will sell for a lot in Munich. So then like the rest of my play session was just like, we gotta get to Munich, and and my relationship was like failing with my master or whatever. Don't totally know what the relationship is there. I think you work for some rich guy.
I think so. Yeah.
There's an option in the game to comb his mustache.
Yep. I did that.
There's a comb icon. The first time I did it, I was like, did I just comb his mustache? And then like later in the game, they affirmed it with dialogue of like, he even combed his own mustache. And it's like, oh shit, I'm combing this guy's mustache.
Yeah, and you pack the bags and you set the plans and you book the cars or buy the train tickets and say when to leave and where to go.
You do everything while the other guy who's like, I want to go do this, is like losing patience with you. Like you're not doing everything right, which like is already like, you know what? I'm going around the world in 80 days. You're just some guy. But at the same, and where's the money even come from? I'm the one making all the Rembrandt.
Don't know.
Crossing state lines to sell Rembrandts.
It feels cool though. Like it kind of brought me back to Bond actually, because it was like I was like, oh, like I could take the Orient Express, or I could take the Trans-Siberian Rail, or like I was like, oh, I'm traversing through Europe, and it's gonna get wilder when we're like in Siberia or like in places we don't even never even heard of,
South
or whatever.
America,
It's
like, because truly part of the way that the game works is like the map of the game is Earth, and that was like really exciting. Of like, oh, I'm gonna go around the world.
I love that.
And it was just like, oh, I can't imagine like all the different things I'm gonna see all around the world, which I assume is like part of the core of this story. Like,
and there's so much. I mean, there's, because like you stay the night in like Warsaw or something because the train doesn't leave until tomorrow morning. Then like all of a sudden all these branching paths appear. It's like you've discovered new paths. It's like, oh fuck, do I want to go here, there? And it's like you can imagine the replayability of this kind of board game, kind of interactive novel, and having like so many different interactions and so many different, it's sort of like Oregon Trail or something. It's like, oh, I can just do this over and over again.
Right off the bat, I was like thinking about it in terms of Oregon Trail, because it's like you're making choices where you don't really know what the effect of your choices are going to be. But at the same time, it's like one of the first choices, it's like pack your bag. And it's like you could get like a manifest of a bunch of different boats or a pack of cards. And I was just like, you know what? This is going to be a long trip. I was, and I clicked the pack of cards, half hoping maybe there's a card mini game in this game, but also just like celebrating. There still might be. Who's to say? This game, it's the game surprised me throughout the 35 minutes I was playing it. But the immediate thing was just having access to the choice of like, I can find a timetable when I get to Germany. Like, I'm bringing my playing cards. Like, it felt like a really silly choice, but nevertheless, like, it has an impact, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
There's something, I don't know if whimsical is the right word. There was just some sort of magic I was feeling during the game where it was just like, you know, not that I feel like I'm traveling through Europe, but I do feel like a certain like recklessness of just like, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah.
Get on the fucking boat, you know? It's
a
like,
recklessness that, you know, with no small amount of, not regret, but it was like just the thing of like, oh yeah, I've never really lived my life like this.
Yeah,
I've never
same.
gone back. I remember riding the bus once and some kid being like, yeah, I charged like $5,000 on my parents' credit card traveling through Europe. You'd be pretty good at it. You're talkative enough. And I was just like, I will never be you. I can't be you, man.
But now you can.
But now you can.
$4.99 on the Apple iOS store. Or
but
whatever.
Truly, the positive version of it was imagining like, oh yeah, if you like were able to look clearly at like, oh, it costs $50 to go to Munich or like 75 to go to Paris. Like, I guess we're going to Munich. Like there is a thrifty way to go backpacking in Europe. Like hostels are cheap enough, right?
Yeah, the little details are kind of cool of like, it's like the German railway is like always on time to the minute.
Yeah,
but
totally.
if you try and take the Orient Express, there's lots of like delays. And I'm like, ooh, like, do I want to fuck with that or do I want to get there on
just
time?
like,
you know, like,
German style. Yeah.
Totally.
And it's, keep
cool.
going.
No, you go.
It's the thing I was arcing towards before is the feeling in the game is one of, this is a really broad scale game. Oh, I didn't even say the thing, which is that when I looked at this game from afar, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a high concept phone game where I have to like play it once a day for 80 days. It's like, I don't want to cover this for Game Club.
I'm going to beat it tonight in bed.
Yeah, like you can just you just play it and the days are like a game mechanic. And I think like it speaks to the fact that the game is so much about, already from like first brush, like it's about like, I have no idea whether I'm going to be able to do this in 80 days. I have no idea,
no concept of that at
whether
all.
I'm going to run out of money. It's like I'm making choices without any understanding of what the effects are going to be.
It, like every good board game or like one single player board game or whatever, like it starts relatively easy. Like you're going through Western Europe. We both kind of know the map, where we're going, what direction,
sort of.
loosely, right? Like we know, like, yeah, that's in the same country or whatever. And then like soon we're going to just have to cross like through
Russia.
Siberia into Alaska, and like we're gonna lose all our money and all our hearts and just die.
I already sold my jacket for some money because it was like, your jacket will sell pretty well here, and I was just like, fuck yeah, dude, I need money. But it's like, I'm gonna freeze to death at some point, probably.
Real life 80 days. Sean's entire briefcase is just different handhelds you bought in every country. Sold all your food.
It's just a bunch of different packs of cards. That's 10 minutes. My minute is, oh baby, this is a game that you hold. It's a world in the palm of your hand, and it's so hot in my apartment right now. It's making it pretty hard to focus.
You got this.
But the point is that this game is, I've already said a few of my top level ideas, which is that like it's a game about like exploring the unknown, but also the excitement of exploring the unknown, and how like you strike up conversations with people and like it can be a little flirty. It's like, ooh. Or you can strike up conversations where you're like, this is going to be a great conversation. To go back to the whole notion of vetoing and mini clubs and shit like this, sometimes you go into something, you think you know what you're getting, and you don't. Sometimes you go into something and you don't, and you think you know what you're getting. It's the same thing, but it goes different ways. And this game is very exciting in that way. It's also a very calming game because of how text-oriented it is. It is rich with systems as far as I can tell, like money and inventory and travel and routes and relationships and
totally.
There was a boat I was on where I is my minute up?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can finish your sentence.
I was on a boat and I covered. My man was upset with me. He was like, "Can't this boat go any faster?" So I talked to the person driving the boat, and they were like, "Well, we could go faster if you closed the flue of the furnace." So I closed the flue of the furnace, but then it made the boat explode. Closing the flue made my master happy, but then it made the boat like get hurt, which made my master sad. And the driver of the boat was like, "Just don't do that again."
Oh my goodness.
And it was like, this is what do they call that type of storytelling? Emergent storytelling. It's very good.
Yeah. So yeah, I was equally surprised with this game. I had no idea what to expect going in. Loved it. And really calming, really nice, really well written, I think. I don't know how much of that is just straight up Jules Verne or like how much they had to adapt. I don't know anything about the book, but yeah, it felt like the type of game that just has a really distinct and clear balance between the little gameplay things, the little exploration things, the little prose things, and like storytelling things. Where I was just I was like never bored of one of those options, and I always had the opportunity to like pick the next one if I wanted to. Just like I'll just skip a day and take the train or whatever, whatever the next thing is, and yeah, it just felt really cool and like you're really in like a historical fiction like Europe or whatever for now because we haven't played any further.
Yeah, anything could happen. Thanks, Teddy.
Cool, Teddy.
Interesting.
What do you want to do next?
Oh, because that was supposed to be part of the ranking thing. Is we're supposed to reconcile our ranking, and we cover the games we already aren't interested in later in the show, right? But the ones we really want to cover earlier.
So Deltarune's for sure last.
Deltarune's, we're gonna hash it out for Deltarune.
Do you want to do Sekiro now? It was your first and my third.
Sekiro is your number. Yeah, so Yeah, let's do Sekiro now. I trust you. I respect you.
My first thoughts were, oh wait, let me set my timer. But my first thoughts going in were just like, I'm kind of scared and I'm plugging in my controller. I think these games are supposed to be on a controller. And then like my next instinct was like, I'm going to go through all the controls because all I hear is that this is the hardest fucking game ever.
Sure.
And, like, FromSoft and blah, blah, blah. And then you get 10 minutes of cinematic where you don't play the game.
The cinematics, okay, sure. So you boned up and then had to watch.
I was like, here we go. I have to, every input is my life at stake.
I want to buff it and buttress what you're saying with like, the game is pretty clear. Like the onboarding of this game, both like aesthetically and design wise is like,
not
this.
FromSofty at all, right?
It doesn't throw you in. It like very gently pushes you in. And it's like, you push this button to jump.
Hang on the ledge.
You push this button
climb.
Push the stick to move. Like it's like
stealth, and this icon will appear if the people hear you or whatever.
Puts you in a safe situation first to like figure out how to maneuver a little bit. And then it throws. I got killed, pretty quickly going into the game. I like messed up a parry or two. But like I was for years, I've got a whole big brain take about this game, right? Are we ready for it?
I'm ready.
FromSoft games, Alon and I have both struggled with them in different ways. Alon and I are different games players. We have different tastes. But the one of the things we align on is our shared like lack of connection with the FromSoft design philosophy. And I'm not saying this to be like hater, like FromSoft games actually aren't that good. Like,
although that would be a killer clip. I'm just thinking in TikToks.
Dude, just taking Miyazaki down a peg. Okay, we get it. Fat rolling sucks. We get it. Naked build. But the point is that people who like games really like these Miyazaki directed FromSoftware games. And like I'm not going to argue with that. People I respect love these games. People I've respected have always loved these games. I remember being a kid watching people play Dark Souls and just being like, what is this? What is this? I'm going on a whole tangent. What's your experience with the From games? This is our opportunity to like go in on. I have a point.
Yeah, I was waiting for the point, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, my only ever playthrough is Bloodborne. You can listen to that episode. I wasn't too pleased with it. But that was like, this game has so many differences from Bloodborne immediely. Like you were saying, the onboarding, but also like, you can actually like move. Like you can actually jump and
you can jump.
Platform. Yeah. And you can like, it feels good to move, which is like, to me, unheard of in FromSoft. I thought that was like rule one of a FromSoft game. It has to feel awful.
Like, feel like walking
I'm not
through
even,
the sludge.
Yeah, like that's like the first thing is like everything feels terrible, but you can iframe or something. Like I thought that was rule one, but
it's real tight moments of flexibility. It's different
and
types
stamina
of flexibility
and shit, you know, and there's none of that. Sorta.
This game is playing with some of those like base components as far because I've played Dark Souls for like 10 hours or whatever. I've played Bloodborne for 10 hours. Like we're not just like from afar, like but it's one of the first things I clocked was like, just like this world is playful to maneuver around, and like you can take different routes when moving through a space, which like I think this is an awful lot of this us talking about how this isn't like other FromSoftware games,
but in a way that we like. So I think it's still like you know, like all of this is the same sentiment, which is like, wow, this was good.
I'm very excited. Good. Yes,
like it was my 3 and your 1 for a reason. I mean, the fighting was like fun and cool. I thought
so
like,
immediate, like
it's just you're just in there and it's stabbing and parrying and and it felt like a well-designed system, not something that like again, like back to Bloodborne, like I had no idea how to parry for many hours because it's impossible to ever know unless someone tells you.
And this game is just like, here's how you parry.
LB is parry. Do it right before they hit you. And
do it before they hit you. And this game, it seems like generous in a way. I want to stop. I keep wanting to compare it. I know, I'm going to try and quell my own impulse to compare it because, like, who knows? But like, this game is pretty generous in terms of just like giving you tools and being like, use these tools, like figure it out, kind of. And some of those tools are like literally just like exploring and navigating. Other FromSoft games are also about exploration. I feel like I'm like defensively.
I know.
Like,
we gotta drop this act. Who fucking cares?
Who's FromSoft? Sekiro's a samurai, and it's published by Activision.
Yeah.
What's up with FromSoft's publishing deals?
Who knows? I don't know.
Me neither. So so you can do anything in this game. It feels like
it's just really sticky in a way that I wasn't expecting. It's really reactive and sticky, and like you feel like you're in full control, and you feel like even the stealth moment, which is like one of the first things you do in the game. I was like kind of shocked, like, oh, there's stealth in this game. Like
it's one of the first things you do.
Yeah, and you sneak through, and then you eavesdrop on people upstairs. Like this is like all very, very surprising.
Yeah,
it's like not even just as a FromSoft thing, but for a Sekiro specific, all I've ever heard is it's so fucking hard.
Sure.
Like you have to like perfectly parry and blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm playing a rhythm game. I don't know what to expect. But it's not
when the game front loads the stealth, it feels like it's offering to you like, oh, there are like flexible ways to deal with situations. I think the game is ultimately going to come down to like fucked up boss fights. I've seen footage of
obliterated by the first boss, as is FromSoft tradition.
But then there was a cinematic of him cutting off your arm, right? So it was like, oh, you're supposed to get obliterated.
I think you're supposed to. Yeah, I think you're supposed to.
Okay. But I've seen footage here and there of like, it's like, oh, there's going to be some fucked up, like you're going to have to slam your head against. So it's like, this is my number 1 pick, but it's also like a dark omen.
You're scared.
Of like,
you're scared.
This is like going to be kind of a nightmare to cover for Game Club because it's going to be demanding and like.
I mean, spoiler alert, neither of us are beating this. If it's voted on, let's be honest. Can we be honest with our listeners?
We didn't beat Kirby's Dream Course.
Well, that's the hardest game of all time. It's way harder than Sekiro.
Sekiro's nothing.
But I mean, howlongtobeat.com says the main story is 30 hours, which if you do the translation for a FromSoft game that we've both never played, that's about 150 hours for us to beat. So it's not
the next
happening.
Few weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's look, right? My big point I wanted to make about the game, I could save it for my 1 minute, but
we're nearing close to the end of the 10, so just do it.
My big point is about how like I've tried other FromSoftware games, and it's like, oh, this is a bunch of like it's one of my drums I'm always beating on wide flank of like there's too much information I have to learn. I don't want to I don't want to experiment with builds. I want to experiment with the locomotion and controls of one build. And like Sekiro right off the bat is like, here's how you sneak, here's how you jump, here's how you parry.
Yep.
Here's a world with a bunch of situations. And like I died one time and then like tried going a different way and like snuck around. And it was just like really immediate feedback of it felt like playing a game as opposed to like learning a game. Like it's learning by playing, which is like also true of the FromSoft games. But I think one of my notes that I wrote was just like, I better not have to look anything up. If I have to look anything up in this game, we are cooked. FromSoft is over.
What stats should I what points should I put stats into or whatever the hell? Yeah.
I respect that people like that stuff, but
Me too,
don't. I don't really vibe with like getting lost in the menus and then like maybe seeing an effect on the way I'm. Well, it's like playing the game. It's the parkour versus menu thing. We've talked about it before. You know,
I think what you're kind of saying is, and it's something I agree with, is that like I want to enjoy the game before I enjoy all that other stuff.
Yes,
right. And so this game is front loaded with platforming, sneaking, fighting in a very like immediate way and simple and no stamina and like no bullshit. And it's gonna get really hard and techy and mechy later. And you know, we'll be into it if this gets voted on. But the other games tend to, I feel like, front load. Here's some impossible boss and you have nothing and you don't know how to do anything. And it's like, wait, this sucks.
Yeah.
I can't even play. It won't let me play.
Yeah. It's what is the learning curve of the game? And in Sekiro, it's like the learning curve is yet to come. But right off the bat, here's my 1 minute of uninterrupted whatever.
Yeah.
I was told for years and years, like, after talking with people who love FromSoft games, I said, like, I'm kind of curious about Sekiro, though. And everyone's always said to me, like, oh, you actually might like Sekiro because it is, like, streamlined in a lot of ways. It's not like, I don't think it's a dumb game for babies. It's just, it doesn't have a lot of the, like, RPG style systems. Bloat, he says, ladies and gentlemen. And, like, from playing the game for, like, an hour, it's like, oh, yeah, like, this game is already hitting me in this, like, playful, immediate way. I'm thinking about what my avatar is doing in the physical space.
Yeah.
Which, again, I know that that's what happens when you're playing FromSoft games too. You're thinking about your avatar in the space. But like Alon's saying, it's like you also have to think about whether you're wearing the right kind of shirt.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make you fat roll, and you don't want a fat roll. And it's like...
I don't even know what it means.
In this game, I was presented with a log, and I was like, I wonder if I can run on that log. And then I ran on the log, and I jumped from the log to a cliff, and I was hanging on the cliff, and then I went under a bridge, and there was a little goblin under the bridge.
Did you kill him?
Yeah, he started attacking me.
Yeah, I sliced his...
I went up to him. I tried to talk to him first. I went up to him like, hey,
Sean.
maybe but truly, it's just like, the game was very quickly just like, try this. Ooh, what's this? Ooh,
yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. Me likey Sekiro. Me want.
Yeah, I liked it too. I was surprised how much I like it. Similarly, I always had people saying, try Sekiro. Like that's, Bloodborne was a bad one for your first FromSoft game. Try Sekiro. It's good. All the same stuff. A lot of my notes are just like, oh my God, no stamina, all caps. This is the game. Like, finally they did the stuff. Like, I think it was Dave Morrow also with Elden Ring, who was just like, holy shit, no stamina while traversing the map. This game's actually playable. And I was like, I agree. Like, fucking hell. But I don't have much more to add for my minute than we've already talked about in your minute. So I'm not gonna just fill it. But yeah, it's good. Liked it.
What's the bar at the top? There's a bar that fills up. Like
don't know. Don't know.
We have much to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're fighting, there's like there's also like a bar with like, it like closes in the center or something. Maybe it's like how well you parried or
I thought it
breaking
was-
their posture or
Yeah.
something.
I clocked it as like this is showing how close to the beat I'm doing my parries.
Which
like
based off
I
the
don't know.
first 30-ish minutes, I think they will explain that probably.
Yeah,
Right? And,
they're not gonna throw us to the wolves.
no, they're nice. They take care of us.
They are nice game makers. All right, so
You want to do F-Zero or Tux and Fanny?
Tux and Fanny is your number 1, my number 4.
Yep. And F-Zero is my number 4 and your number 2.
By the properties of mathematics, it's Tux and Fanny, baby. Ranked choice voting.
All right. Setting the timer.
Me too. Tux and Fanny, dude. How'd you
loved it?
How'd you stumble upon this little guy?
Actually, have no idea.
Okay.
Just had it saved for. I probably heard it on some podcasts
Okay.
or someone recommended it, or I have no idea. I didn't even recognize it when it came time to like download and play it. I was like, what is this? I just wrote like, oh my god, these guys, that must be Tux and Fanny.
Well,
like,
sure, it's 2 of them. And
Yeah,
when Alon
there's-
suggested it to me, I was just like, I literally never encountered this video game.
Yeah.
I, with my deep well of like,
know.
Alon started talking about clacks earlier today, and right away I was just like, oh, clacks, dude.
dude.
Clacks, dude. But this game was brand new for me and brand new for Alon. Alon, can you describe the game? Can we try to describe the game a little bit?
Yeah, so you choose either Tux and or Fanny to be at the beginning of the game, and then you immediately are presented with, I can just switch between any character, including a cat in a dark forest or a flea in like a desert.
Which I assume is like on the cat or something.
yeah,
like there's
maybe.
some like metatextual.
Yeah, there's
But
something going on there.
Literally the fact that like, so right off the bat, you can switch between 4 characters, and if you switch to one of the other ones, because Tux and Fanny are with each other at a house, so you switch to the other and you're just in the same room but a different person. You switch to the cat and you're just somewhere else entirely.
Somewhere far away land or something.
It's just like, whoa, like, this game is so delightful. It's
so delightful in a way that it just like totally hugged me. And I thought it was so well written because it's basically a point and click adventure. Like you see a thing, you press a button on it, and
every single thing in the space you can like look at. And I will add, I don't know if this is a spoiler or what, but like Tux and Fanny will each respond differently to the different objects. Like there's different lines of writing because they're different characters and they have different perspectives.
I just think the writing is so good.
Yeah.
Like, and we'll get to Deltarune later, but I'm very sensitive to dialogue, prose, writing. When it's a game that's like based off that, I need it to be good or I'm like immediately repelled from the game. And it just, it was just so chill and funny and weird, and it really reminded me of being a kid in a way that like I think is very difficult to do. Like just walking around and play this computer game, touch that piano, like put this thing in my pocket, and just like it's just like it was just so great.
I might do something with that thing in my pocket or lose it and forget about it entirely.
I
have so many weird little anecdotes of playing the game.
I took 50 screenshots.
I took
I'm
a
not
million
even
notes.
Kidding. Yeah,
I took a bunch.
Yeah.
I've got like a shitload of screenshots over on my Nintendo Switch too. It was on Switch, which I love. I'm just laying in bed playing Tux and Fanny, but you spoke about the writing, and like the writing is true. There's so many striking things about the game, but like truly, there's like
incredible.
There's lines like you look at some water, and then your character says, "Beautiful water, the liquid of our lives." Which is like, yeah, dude. You look at a yoga mat. I can't lay down on my meditation mat because there is a tree root growing up through the floor.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
it's just like, did you find Skull Legs?
Skull Legs?
Yeah, did you find it?
Oh, that's the game.
One of the it's on a little floppy.
I played
disc.
the Timmy's Tooth Time floppy disk. I didn't play Skull Legs. Skull Legs, it said like it's too scary.
It's too scary unless Tux is next to me. So then I got Tux, brought Tux in the house, and played Skull Legs while Tux is just standing next to me. Skull Legs is fucking sick. I beat Skull Legs.
Hell yeah, dude. I got a pretty good score in like Timmy's Tooth time. Tim Tooth.
It's just a game about being a fucking kid in a place. Like
just
it's
playing and exploring and
we talked sort of recently, I think, about Napoleon Dynamite. Oh, because you were talking about the Minecraft movie. Like it's that in a way that like I love. Like you're just like in a fucking place and everything's weird because you're a kid and you're just walking around.
And you sort of you have autonomy. Like you're allowed to look at things and do things.
But also like the piano is so cool. I'm just going to keep playing the piano.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like I'm just going to look at this flower book because it's so cute and nice.
And the flower book, it's like this like aesthetic thing with the game too, because we haven't talked about the way the game looks. Which,
oh
like,
my God.
It both it matters a lot how
it
the
matters
game
a
looks.
lot, actually.
I think from afar I would have been repelled by the aesthetic because it's like it's this like very like low bit like retro game and like
what do you even call this? Because calling it pixel art, I think it's accurate, but it paints the incorrect picture. I think.
Well, I mean that's and the game like makes this promise with its aesthetics and then like immediately starts messing with its aesthetics. You look into a flower book and it becomes like watercolor.
Yeah.
So it's like you're playing this game that is like these really blocky pixels and it's like, is this going to be like trash or like actually thoughtful? And it's like very quickly, very thoughtful. And but it also, it feels like steeped in like playing old game. Like you pick up floppy. This isn't the core of the game is not picking up floppy disks.
It's just exploration and adventuring maybe.
Yeah. And but Alon and I both like got into playing a mini game on the computer and it's like that alone is like, oh yeah, like playing these old games is fun because you were like a person playing these old games on the computer. Like it's like there's like more humanity.
It's very human. It feels
pixels.
like a very personal story to me. Like this is a personal story from the writers and creators of this game that I'm like privileged to look into, and nothing was like taken away from it or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, half of my notes are just like, dude, I'm sitting in the chair, ha 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 ha, like it's screenshot. Like it's just like I was like taking notes in a way that I don't take notes unless it's like Obradin. I was like, oh, like Seagull number, oh, the safe combo, you know, like all this stuff.
I was taking all these screenshots to try and piece together the safe or whatever.
You also get a point for everything you pick up.
Right. There's a running tally in the upper left
just like
corner.
0 points out of 452. And
you
just pick up a fucking lighter and it's like 1 point. I'm like, sick.
It's like, I'm making progress. I'm fucking killing it here, dude.
Yeah, I'm popping off.
Yeah, and I also, before we like run out of time talking about it, they have the entirety of Moby-Dick in this game,
dude,
because there's a bookshelf and you can go up to the bookshelf and look through books, and one of the books was Moby-Dick, and I went like full gamer freak mode and was like, I bet there's a clue at the end of Moby-Dick. So I was just like slamming on the A button to like manually flip through every single page of Moby-Dick, and the first time I was slamming so hard that I went past the end of the book, so I had to do it 2 times. And then when I got to the end of the book, there was nothing. It was just the end of Moby-Dick.
Just if you want to read Moby-Dick.
If you want to read Moby-Dick. Yeah.
Yeah, when you get to the bookshelf, there's a manual that you can read also.
Yeah, which is in like there, actually it's like the game manual.
If you need a break from exploring, why not load up the computer and try out some of your new games? You can access the computer anytime by using this shortcut. Like, and it says the same thing when you reach the books, the same thing when you reach the synthesizer and the records and the record player.
Dude.
Yeah, and
synthesizer feels like kind of substantial in a way that the piano doesn't. The piano is like 5 baked in chords kind of, but the synthesizer you can like record melodies and then perform on top of the melody.
Yes, and there's like sequencing and there's metronome and like it's just
so sweet.
It's just so deep in like this like sincere, beautiful way. Like I was just loving it. Like my final note was like, all right, I'm saving and quitting. Fuck, that's a good ass video game. Like that's why it's my number 1. I mean, I just loved it.
I think it speaks to like picking that game as like this would be fun to play. Like
I want to play more.
There's no amount of like, fuck, I'm gonna have to finish this for Game Club associated with.
I'm gonna have to do the walkthrough of Tux and fucking Fanny, dude.
It is like it's warm-hearted, but it's also like it's not cynical, but it's just got this like bent to it, kind of just like.
You know what, another thing,
like
that
it's not like we're having fun. It's just like we're having fun. Like it's like a kid. You know, kids aren't necessarily like hee hee. Kids are like weird little, kind of gross at times, right? Yeah. So, but continue. What are you gonna say?
Freaks. No, I was just gonna add that like there's like just the right amount of flavor text for like the items that you find too, where it's like. I don't know. Another similar game could run into the problem of like, I'm just going to try every item on every other item to try and like look under the rock. But it like basically tells you what to do. It's just like, you haven't found it yet.
You're going to need a mug to do this.
Yeah. Like, oh, if you get a magnifying glass, you can look under the rock and look at some bugs. And I'm like, oh, great. You know, I can't wait to do that.
And then there's certain books that you can look at that are just like, have you tried this? Like the game just wants you to.
Wants you to play with the game.
Yeah, it wants you to play with the game. It has plenty of stuff it like wants you to like specifically do, but it's also totally fine with you just like doing whatever you want to do, and that is like such a gift.
Such a gift. So let's do our minutes here. First of all, we also haven't mentioned that the language is like Russian or something.
I think it's
Russian.
Yeah,
it's like this like. Robotic Russian is like the sound of Tux or Fanny speaking. And that is chill as fuck because it's just like sound, it's just ambient noise and you just read everything in your own thing. It's just such a joy. It makes you like feel good to be alive, like playing that kind of game.
Like while you're playing it.
Yeah, while you're playing it, like this is fucking great and I love this and I love the world they built and I want to read more of it and I want to explore more of it. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
And what I got to say is usually I come into these wide flank games with like some big highfalutin ideas, kind of like, what's the core of this? What's what are the designers trying to say? Like what's the but with Tux and Fanny, it's like you sort of like and I'm not saying it's simple, it's stupid. Like I was not even thinking that critically while playing. It's just you play it, and I'm not. Okay, so I'm getting lost in the sauce because I'm so hot. It's so hot.
Well, we only have 2 more games to go. You can do it.
But it's a game where I was like actually just playing it. Like I was not really doing much double think. Like
exactly,
what's happening here? I should try and think about this. I was just like, oh, I'm curious about this. I'm curious. And oddly enough, Sekiro was also kind of like that. Sekiro was also kind of just like, oh, I'm curious about this. I'm curious about this.
Yeah.
These games that like stoke curiosity and then like meet the curiosity, like those are good games. Tux and Fanny is a good game.
And time just flies because you just get lost in it in that really specific way.
I forgot to set a timer.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I was like, I've been playing this for a while. Like, I mean, I could just keep playing this.
Yeah.
I gotta do other stuff too. I got other games. But I'm very excited to play this, whether we cover it or not.
Same. So F-Zero is next.
F-Zero, dude. That
was a Sean pick. Tell me about F-Zero.
Yo, F-Zero GX is so fun.
I've set my timer.
Dude, F-Zero GX, dude. F-Zero GX is the game that famously, in the F-Zero franchise, well, where do I even begin? I loved this game as a child, right?
Original F-Zero, you mean?
No,
or
F-Zero
this one?
GX.
Oh,
original F-Zero came out when I was 2 years old. F-Zero's fine. Who cares? I'm not a...
No, you weren't even born yet, I don't think, when original F-Zero...
1990 is my born.
That's when F-Zero came out.
1990 is when it came
1990,
out.
baby.
Oh, right, because it's a SNES launch title. Fast forward to like 2001 or 2. This is a game that's produced by SEGA. It's not even a Nintendo game. It's SEGA making a game for Nintendo, which is already like, whoa, what's happening here? No, none of this is important. The important stuff is playing this game. Sorry, I'm not trying to do my 1 minute.
No, I want to hear why you picked it, why you love it, because I know you've played it before.
Well, I picked it in kind of a Craven way, which was like, oh, it's like semi-topical because it came loaded on my Switch too.
Oh, cool.
And so I was like, oh, people might be playing this game.
Yeah.
It's like there's like kind of, I mean, there's always interest in it. Like it's one of these like, it's not like a cult classic, but it's like it has some of the tapestry of a cult classic.
I feel like it sort of is a cult classic because it's just it's not Mario Kart, it's not Wipeout, it's also not Forza or Need for Speed or whatever. Sure. It's just kind of like its own lane,
other racing game.
Yeah, the other one that people play,
and it's also it came out 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, and hasn't been updated. Like there are no other F-Zero games of note after this game. And that's cool. It was like a thing where Shigeru Miyamoto would be asked about it and he would frankly say to people at a certain point, like, well, what would you add to it? What would you add to it to make it make a new one? Yeah. Because like truly, because you play this game today and it's like it feels contemporary. It feels completely singular. It is so, I mean, it's kind of dated and some of it's like of its time. Sorry, I could go on. I could talk for this entire 10 minutes.
I don't mind.
What did you think of F-Zero GX?
Kind of hit right away, like with the aesthetics, like
this opening kind of hate.
Hit. Kind of you're kind of punched in the mouth with like the this is like fucking the Hackers soundtrack and Cyber, and like I was like, is this just Wipeout? Like, what is this? And then I don't know. There's also like some jazzy loops, which is like I feel like it's very Japanese to just like throw some of that in there. And then there's like some gent guitars in there because like why not have some gent guitars in there? And then
gent.
Like
gent.
Yeah, that's the actual name.
Cool.
And then I was just kind of bored. From then on, I was kind of bored.
Sure. You're telling me that in these, with the sense of speed in this game, even that wasn't enough to get you in the races?
That's a great place to start because my first note after playing was doesn't feel fast to me. So like
what?
In a number go up kind of way, your speedometer just says 1,400 kilometers per hour. It's like, holy shit. But I don't know. I was almost feeling like, fuck, I forgot. What's that thing called where like in car commercials, it looks like the tires are going backwards? Because like the frames or something.
Because it spins so fast that it like then starts to, I don't know what it's called, but
I was like, I'm going, whoa. And then I was just like, I'm just going at a fucking bumper car speed on this course.
Really?
Like, the number doesn't like mean anything.
Were you zoomed out? Like what camera view were you
I tried
using?
in car and zoomed out. I tried all the cameras.
And it all didn't feel that fast to you?
Yeah, it was just.
This is so fucked up.
You know what I did after I played is I went back to my OG F-Zero on SNES and played like 3 or 4 levels.
Really?
And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. This is good. This is the good shit.
Okay. F-Zero rocks. Yeah. All these games rock. I'm genuinely surprised about like, because when I booted this up, I was like, I know this thing's fast, but as I was playing it, I was like, this feels chaotic. Like I can't control it. It's so damn fast.
Yeah.
It like I like felt, and like as time went on, I felt like more in control. I don't know. If you didn't feel the speed, that's shocking to me, but also I accept it. It's not like you're wrong or I'm right.
No, it's person to person, but
yeah.
I mean, what do you think of like the aesthetics of it? Because I also was confused on that because at first I was like, fuck yeah, I love Prodigy, whatever. But then I was just like, is this just like did they literally make a sound alike of Wipeout and a look alike of Wipeout or something? Like, is this just like so derivative that it's like, I kind of wish this was just Prodigy or something. I'm like, what is this?
I think of this as like, this game's like kind of gonzo in its aesthetics, whereas Wipeout tends to be a little more like minimal and subdued and cool. Like this game isn't cool. This game is like
that's what I mean, sort of.
It's really earnest, kind of, and just like blah blah blah. Like it's Like I think it's leaning into the aesthetics of like competition and like superheroes.
Dude,
like all the characters.
I hated that.
I'm sure.
Did you play any of the story mode?
That's kind of why I brought it to Game Club, because I was like, I want to make Alon play the F-Zero GX story mode.
So it's like some fucking Batman Captain Falcon story where he scans his eyes to get into his lair and get into the car. Meanwhile, there's a Captain Falcon rap fusion song playing the whole time.
Right.
Horrible. And then you just have to get these capsules on an empty track with the shinny rap fusion track playing on repeat. I was like, wow. That's when I basically was like, has it been 30 minutes yet? Please be 30 minutes.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go play SNES F-Zero, which felt really good.
Look, did you play Grand Prix?
Yeah, I played Grand Prix. That's the first thing I did.
I think I am just like super down with this game in terms of like actually playing it, like, because I was able to in the way that with Tux and Fanny I was just starting to talk through, like, I didn't start to think critically about it. This game I knew it so well that like I was starting to think critically about it, and I started finding like, oh yeah, the actual emerging exciting play in this game for me comes down to the fact that as you're racing, you're accumulating points from race to race in a Grand Prix race. And the person who's in second place, you see them on the board with the word rival above their head.
Yeah.
Such that when I'm racing in a Grand Prix, I'm like barely racing for first. I'm either racing just to get in front of rival, or I'm racing to kill rival.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing a racing game, but actually what I'm doing is I'm like trying to maneuver to like hit a guy while also going really fast, such that like it feels like juggling two different games at once, kind of. And like,
well, that's like Wipeout has the actual combat stuff, right?
Sure, but it's a little less personalized. Like Wipeout has like Mario Kart, like boost power ups that you just like
whatever
shoot at guys.
Yeah.
This felt more like internalized, like
Rubbin is racing.
Rubbin's
racing. You know that, ref?
Tell me more. What the fuck is that?
It's that Tom Cruise movie. It's what's the movie called?
Glory?
Yes. Yeah,
not Blades of Glory.
Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
No, but I knew I was like with you there. But yeah, it's like Rubbin's racing.
The second instant of John Heater on the pod. Sorry, continue.
There we go. Yeah, but it is that kind of racing game, I guess, F-Zero. Like you're shoulder to shoulder with rival, and you just want to like, like nudge in front of them.
And what was the phrase?
Rubbin is racing.
Rubbin is racing?
Yeah, Rubbin's racing, baby. Because it's like a hardcore, like NASCAR, like you're, rubbing. You're rubbing.
You're rubbing up against.
But yeah, you're rubbing against a rival. That's why.
And I think that's that's what made me excited to play this as an adult, because like I've come to this game a number of times over the years since I was a kid. Like, oh, this game's so like gonzo and fast and crazy. But I usually like play like 2 races and I'm like, I'm good. But being forced to play it for wide flank, it's like, oh yeah, the thing that emerges is like juggling things on the board. Because like there's also this system of boosting in the game, but your health goes down when you boost. So you're constantly like
energy
pushing to go faster while also making it like more likely that you're gonna die. So there's like a push and pull. In a given race, like you are defining a push and pull relationship. And like you can get to a point where it's like, I've boosted because I had to get ahead, but like if I fuck anything up, I'm gonna die and the whole race is over. And like the tension of that is good video game to me. We've hit 10 minutes.
Okay.
Take it away.
I mean the last racing game we did was Wave Race, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And all of those, I think a lot of that, and what I'm realizing for me specifically with the racing game, is just feel. And I just felt like when I'm going fast in Wave Race, I'm going so fucking fast. I'm out of control fast. And like I'm like competing with the environment all the time. Bouncing, and I'm bumping is really dangerous and risky. It's like F-Zero if everyone's on 1 health all the time, because you can just fall off and you're gonna finish in last place, guaranteed, basically. And then this game, like I said earlier, I just didn't feel fast. So I didn't feel, maybe it's like I didn't feel a ramp up or something, or maybe the environment was a little bit like bland to me. So there's not like stuff zooming by. I don't have to go in between buoys or anything. I'm just like, oh, I'm on a straightaway, so I'll just like use all my boost and finish first. And I'm like, all right, next race. Oh, it's a straightaway in the final lap. I'm gonna use all my boost and finish first. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I just didn't click with me. Sorry.
It felt a little like simple for you. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's your choice and you love it. I don't know.
Fuck this. No, I don't care. Like, it's who cares?
Yeah.
It's because I don't think you're wrong, right? I'm supposed to be just whatever. I'm just gonna respond.
Do your thing.
I'm gonna reply to Alon. I don't think you're wrong that like there are parts of this game that are very like straightforward and just like I'm genuinely surprised that the sense of speed like didn't have an effect on you, which we've already talked about. But rubbing is racing. This game for me is in the same way that Alon's saying like, yeah, the straightaways are kind of dull or whatever. When I hit a straightaway in this game, I'm usually like, whew, like you hit the straightaway and it's like, yeah, you kind of know what's gonna happen. And when I hit a straightaway, it's just like a beat where like I'm like reflecting on just like, oh, that was all fucked up. Oh. Or I'm just like slamming on the boost. I'm like, I gotta do it. I gotta push. Yeah. Like I'm not trying to be like Alon's wrong, right? I think I'm trying.
That's not what we're talking about. Yeah.
That's not where. Yeah, no. I think I brought this game kind of in a shisty way of the story mode is like famously hard, and I wanted to put us through that kind of. And it's on the Nintendo Switch too now, and also it's a game that I have tried exploring in the past. And I sometimes use wide flank as an excuse to like dig into things that I wouldn't otherwise.
I love that.
And
that's what Mini Club's all about.
If people vote for it, we're playing it.
We're playing it. I'll tell you what.
We'll talk about vetoing later. Deltarune, the game's so nice they rearranged the letters from Undertale one time.
Oh, I didn't know that. Are they related?
It's the sequel to Undertale, is my understanding. I couldn't even think of the name of the game so much because in my brain it's like I know that it's like a what do they call it when you move around the words?
Anagram?
Anyhow,
is that right?
Yeah, I just set the 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I got to set the timer.
A game so nice you don't play it for the first 28 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What did you play it on? PC?
Switch 2, baby.
Okay, because imagine you're looking at your Switch 2 screen. That is the resolution that you play on your PC. So I was playing on fucking 640 by 480 screen in the middle of my screen.
Like a tiny screen?
Like I was like, why the fuck is this so small? There's no settings or full screen or maximize or anything.
Were full screen?
I couldn't full screen it.
This has nothing to do with the game.
Well, it was fucking stupid and bad.
What?
But yes. But yeah, you don't play the game forever. Although actually my favorite part was picking your character.
Your first note is I couldn't figure out how to make the game big.
No, my first note is why is this 640 by 480 LOL? Is this supposed to be played on a mobile device? Those are my first two notes.
You
verbatim.
Just gotta, like maximize the window.
You can't, brother. I'm telling you.
No way.
I wish.
Anywho,
I wish there was a way. But yeah, tell me more about not playing the game for the first 28 minutes.
It felt like playing a web comic. And I was
not funny one.
Hey. Is it supposed to be funny or is it supposed to be like heartfelt? The heartfelt stuff I was fine with.
Neither. Yeah, I don't know. That it starts with I think the best prose of the whole first 35 minutes or whatever, where you create a character and it's like
spooky and
it's spooky and select the head that you prefer, and you have to create a vessel and you start building a person. I like that shit.
And all the legs look the same.
Yeah, and I was like, this is kind of tight. And then you're a person in a world and you just have really slow dialogue with everyone. That's it.
The
That's
window
the whole game.
too small. I couldn't figure out how to click through the dialogue.
Really rough.
There's just all these like structural problems with your.
Dude, I was spamming skip and it was still slow.
You can't you just read it and then click A to go to the next message?
Yeah, but it types it out in a slow. It types it out in a slow cadence because it's trying to be all stylish.
This is a game that people, as much as I know about Undertale, is people are like absolute freaks about it. Like the aesthetics, the art, the music, the game design, all this stuff. And here we are just talking about like,
oh man,
the window is too small.
I hope none of them are listening because I'm giving those all 0s out of 10s. It's like, oh my God. This was obviously my veto, if we're going to veto, which we'll talk about after this. But I
speak on that. You hate this.
I hate it every second, honestly.
Yeah?
I really, really did. And I don't usually say that on Wide Flank or mini clubs. It's sometimes like, they kind of rub me the wrong way or like whatever, blah, blah, blah. This game I like genuinely hated. I was like,
I had a friend once say about, this isn't my perspective. It's just I've been down this road before. I'm somewhere in the middle of like, I'm not like.
But it was your last game also. Your last place game also.
Yeah, I don't want to cover it for Wide Flank. I want to mess around with it in my own time. I don't want to have to play it. It's a game that like, it's so clearly like it's like a Tumblr game. It's like a game for Tumblr people, and I like Tumblr.
Me too.
I can be a pretty earnest person at the end of the day, and like I sort of appreciate the game going for a combination of like, because I don't want to be just the comedic tonal stuff like doesn't totally land for me or like make me feel seen either necessarily, but it's like some of this. I was already starting to say it, that like the earnest stuff, the sweetness of it, like the mixing of sweetness and darkness, like I'm pretty down with. Like I like the table setting of a small town. The fact that it feels like Earthbound is like neither here nor there. It just like is what it is, kind of. I think it's like, and I was curious about bringing it to Wide Flank though too, in terms of like, oh yeah, what is like the broader cultural. What's the deal with Undertale? Oh, and this is what I was going to say too, is I've talked with another, I remember talking with, I was coming, and I remain coming at it with curiosity, but I remember trying to talk about Undertale with curiosity to a friend, and my friend was a bit of a dark boy. He was like, yeah, I'd like it if someone else made it.
Oh,
which is
what does that even mean?
He just does not like the perspective of Toby Fox, the creator, but I think it's also so clear that it's like, part of what draws me to it, whether I vibe with the aesthetic or not, like neither here nor there, is like it feels like a singular. It feels like a webcomic. It feels like a Tumblr page made by one person, just like like, and it's their music and their writing and their design choices, and it feels like really, it is what it is, kind of. And like, did you get into any of the combat situations? Like, did you get that far into it?
I mean, I got to like the other, like dodging mostly, not attacking, right? Like dodging, like the eyes shooting stuff, and that was okay.
I'm ready to be enthralled by like that design conceit of like it's a turn-based RPG where the combat is actually like physical. Like, okay, that's exciting.
It was just so. I mean, like, I wrote in my notes like this is just a press enter simulator. Because I'm just like, can I play it? Oh, no, I just have to like mash enter to get through this scene, that. And like, it is kind of like, to your point, like it is kind of, or maybe your friend's point, if you don't resonate with the dialogue and the writing and the prose, it's not for you. Like there's no way that it'll work because you have to sort of be enthralled with it in the same way that Tux and Fanny is my number one because I loved it. But it equally,
very directly to you.
Yeah, but equally, someone could be like, "This is all cringe. I don't like this. It's not funny," and they would hate Tux and Fanny. So, like, I totally get that.
Sure, yeah. And I think it's I appreciate that like both Tux and Fanny and I was about to call it Undertale are on this list of games because they do feel like similar games, like coming from different places, kind of, and like it's fun to see games that are like clear. And this isn't novel. Like we're so far, we've covered a bunch of games that are very clearly a single person's vision of game design, and so like. I think that's really like the best case I want to make. I don't think we're gonna cover it. I don't know if we're gonna veto it. At this point I kind of don't care either way because it's like I will talk about the vetoing later. But the point is that Deltarune is a game that like I've been curious about Undertale. I've had Undertale installed on my laptop. No, I've never.
No, you were playing Earthbound.
I was playing Earthbound.
Yeah, that's what I got confused. It's
its own thing.
Yeah.
But these games I think are largely indebted to. But like that's like I said, that's neither here nor there to me. It's like I don't need this to be an Earthbound like for it to feel like worthy of. But I just am gonna keep coming back to the same thing, which is like it feels like a web comic for better and for worse. And like in the past I've gotten sucked into just like reading an entire webcomic in one go that I'm like, I don't love this person's perspective, but it's all right.
Yeah.
It's kind of comfy. Like I think this game, for me at least, the game was like fairly comfy. It was like so straightforward. I'm not into having to like do 30 minutes of like narrative onboarding in a video game. Sekiro had like 15 minutes, just saying.
Yeah.
But like, so like that is sort of standardized in this medium, but like, I don't know. It's also, that stuff is like, people who love Undertale are probably like stoked that like
this
there's
is
just
the best stuff.
30 minutes of just like raw new Undertale stuff.
They wish there was
like,
300 minutes actually. 30 is a little too short. If you love it, it's So basically what we're saying is if you love it, you'll love it. If you don't love it, you might hate it, which is me.
And I kind of want to explore it, but in like an anthropological way of like, what's up with gamers? Why do they like I would explore this the same way I would explore like Smite. Smite.
I've heard of that, but I don't know what it is.
I barely know what it is. It's just a game that like people are into, and that makes me curious about it. Like, oh yeah, like, what do people see in this thing? And Undertale and Deltarune, I can sort of see what people are into about it, but I also see what like you and my other slightly older dark boyfriend aren't into about it. Like, it represents these just different things to different people.
My older dark boyfriend. Toby Fox, one of the most famous Tobys in the world. This is my minute. This is all I have to talk about. Where would you put him on the pantheon of Tobys?
What other Tobys are there?
Well, there's Tobey Maguire, that's like kind of the only one I can think of. There's a famous Toby soccer player. He doesn't even play anymore. He's retired. Toby Alderweireld.
He should still play.
Yeah, but I can't name another Toby, so maybe Toby Fox is number 3.
Up there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, interesting.
That's your minute.
That's basically my minute. I mean,
the game was too small. This guy doesn't play soccer anymore.
I like when
like, what are we doing?
I like when the person says quiet people piss me off and there's a little guitar cue. I was like, nice. I like
that. I like that you're friends with a fucker. I like that the person you're traveling with is like a bully.
The bully.
And it's like, I definitely am going to learn more about what this bully's deal is.
Also,
like, that's kind of exciting.
You wake up in the house and there's a Triforce on your carpet. I'm like, oh, is this like going to be Link to the Past or something? I was like, this is like the same. And then and then you don't get to play a video game for the next 30 minutes.
Well, sure. But then when you are playing a video game, you're like extremely gaming. It's like oil and water.
I wouldn't say extremely. You're holding right.
Well, that initial onboarding thing with all the spades, it's super linear. I just hope that there's some version of like a richer game like past the starting point. You know?
I mean, it's a bad sign when after the dialogue sections, and this, I gotta end my minute, I'm still just standing still because I'm assuming that I'm not able to move yet because there's gonna be more dialogue.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I can move? And then I exit the classroom, and then I can't move again. More dialogue.
It's an interesting 5 seconds there. Yeah.
All right, you go.
Toby Fox, one of the most famous Tobys, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Toby Fox. I don't know anything about this person. I saw
neither.
Anamanaguchi play a Undertale song once, and the crowd lost their fucking minds.
God damn.
And I think that's what it is. You know, it's Tumblr webcomic video game. And I don't say that with judgment. I just say that that's what it is. It's Tumblr webcomic video game. And I'm curious about it still. Alon clearly is not. I don't know. We're going to have to really just, I think this is a perfect, we're going to have to talk about the whole notion of vetoing. And
perfect segue. Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I was like fully like, no, I want to cover this. I think it's like, if it was F-Zero GX, I'd be like losing my mind being like, we cannot fucking veto F-Zero, bro. But if it's Undertale, it's like, okay, like Deltarune. Speak on that. Like, what are we? So let's just transition right into the veto conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think you mentioned it earlier where neither of us want this to be a podcast about like forcing us to play games we don't want to play.
Sure,
but the listeners do tend to like the episodes where one or both or more are pissed off about the game. So maybe they'll all vote for Deltarune.
There's dynamics.
They just want to hear yelling about or something.
About I can't figure out how to get my window to get bigger.
I just can't keep my eyes open while playing this game.
Sure. I was playing it in bed, which felt very nice. It felt very nice to just be like, I'm just reading a webcomic, dude. Like, whatever.
Down to read, but I gotta like the words, I think.
Sure.
So it was a way of pure greed and selfishness of me being like, I fucking really don't want to play this. So I would love power to veto. But I hear you, and I think I agree with you that goes against the mini club, game club relationship, which is it's in the power of the Discord.
It's in the power of the Discord, and I have my highfalutin thing, which it came to light. Highfalutin, yeehaw. It came to light even in talking about the game design of 80 Days that like I'm fascinated by like who knows what's gonna happen. When we were talking about Kirby's Dream Course, you were like, these mechanics are unlearnable. Fuck this game. And I was just like, these mechanics are unlearnable. You're just who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like I don't want to lean too much into like I love embracing the mystery because it's like it doesn't feel like this is a mystery to you. It feels like it's like I don't want to play this game. You know, it's not like I'm not so certain about it. But
right.
I think ultimately deferring to. I think we gotta like we're saying like we gotta just defer to the community.
Ultimately. We'll find out. I mean, I think we both know that people just vote for what they're going to vote for. It doesn't
even listening to the episode.
Doesn't even matter. But we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out that like this will influence them to vote for Deltarune or to not vote for Deltarune based on our reactions to the game. Don't know. Yeah.
I want to take Deltarune seriously. Like I want to try to understand.
Oh, I took it seriously.
Tumblr. I love Tumblr.
I took that thing real seriously.
You took it personally. You couldn't get
it personally.
I'm never gonna fucking. Why is the window so small? I hate this game.
If the game was good, I would have been like kind of cool aesthetic decision to make the window 640 by 480.
This game,
I kind of love that. There's a window in my window, which represents the window into my soul through my eyeballs.
Well, truly, the aesthetic of the game, it does have like it's a 4:3 screen, but sometimes it has a border and sometimes it doesn't. Like it plays around with the perspective anyway.
Toby Fox's magical dreamland of Deltarune and how he got bullied in high school.
Yo. Did you get bullied in high school?
Nah.
Were you a bully in high school?
No, not in high school.
Not. Oh, that's a story for GLHF. I'm gonna put that one in my back pocket.
All right, should we get out of here? Vote on the poll. Join the Discord so you can vote and force me to play Deltarune for 80 hours.
Yeah, dude. Are we allowed to say no? We already implicitly say which one we kind of want to win. It's our number one.
We ranked them.
Yeah, and for me, it's Sekiro. For Alon, it's Tux and Fanny. But ultimately, it's not up to us. It's up to all of us to join hands around the website of Wide Flank Discord.
Yes,
Discord, Patreon, Blue Sky, I guess.
Subscribe, rate, review.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. If somebody's like, you listen to any podcasts, you just say, I listened to this video game podcast. It's called Wide Flank. They're both bald, 35 plus years old, and white.
And funny.
They make me shit my pants.
Sean has a guitar in the background. I'm hoping he's going to play it one day.
One day, Sean's going to play a Pearl Jam style cover of the song from Undertale.
Adam Saltzman.
That's
how it goes. Right?
That's a
podcast.
That's a
Good
podcast.
night.
I'm so hot.
Bye.